Good afternoon. Alright, for tonight's homework, you have the worksheet 2-2D, the study notebook. So you're going to be looking ahead in your math book starting on page 110 through page 113. So those couple pages will be where you're going to get your information from. So the first section right here says skim lesson 2-2D and predict two things you think you may be learning about multiplying mixed numbers. So I would focus here on page 110 and page 111, and from there I would start thinking about what are we going to be learning about in this section. So you're going to write two sentences. Please write complete sentences explaining what you are going to do in section 2-2D, multiplying mixed numbers. This section down here, we're going to be looking at writing each mixed number as an improper fraction. So what we'll be doing here is we'll be taking this mixed number, in this case 4 1/5, and changing it back into an improper fraction where our numerator, the top of the fraction, is larger than the denominator, the bottom. So if we look at this, we've got 4 1/5, and this was like today's problem of the day. So what we're going to do with this is you're going to take 5 and multiply it by 4, which would give us 20. And then you're going to take that number and add the numerator that you currently had, or have. So 20 plus 1, which gives us, I'm going to write it outside the box just because it's hard to write that small on this, 21. And we're going to place all of that over the numerator we originally started with, fifths. So 4 1/5 is equal to 21 over 5. And we did that by multiplying 5 times 4, which gave us 20, and then we added our numerator that we had in our mixed number, which in this case was 1, so 20 plus 1 gave us 21. Our denominator just moved over to 21 over 5. So you're going to do that with the rest of these here and practice changing those mixed numbers into improper fractions, which will help when we lead into tomorrow's lesson, because that's one of the first steps when we multiply mixed numbers. Alright, this section here, if you look here, multiplying mixed numbers, page 110 through 111, so those are the two pages in your textbook you're going to look at to solve this here. And you'll notice that we have this problem, 1 1/3 times 3 1/4. And if you look on page 111, you'll see another sample problem just like this one, but it's 1 7/8 times 3 1/3. And you're going to do them essentially the same way. So the first thing we need to do is you're going to write both mixed numbers as improper fractions. So we're going to change 1 1/3 into an improper fraction and 3 1/4 into an improper fraction. So I want you to go ahead and do that now. So looking at that improper fraction, 1 1/3, we're going to multiply 3 times 1, which will give us 3, plus 1, so we should end up with 4 thirds here as our first improper fraction. Our second part, we're going to do 3 1/4. We need to change that. So we have 3 times 4, which would give us 12, plus our 1, our numerator, so that gives us 13 over 4. That's our second part there. So now we have this new problem. We've got 4 thirds times 13 fourths. So step 2, we're going to divide out any common factors before multiplying. So if we look at this here, if we rewrite this problem on this part, step 2, we have 4 thirds times 13 fourths. Now, if you look, we have a 4 here, we have a 4 here. They can essentially cancel each other out, and when we rewrite this problem, we can rewrite it as, we cancel these out, we can rewrite our problem as 1/3 times 13 ones. And the reason we have these ones here now rather than our 4s is because we have eliminated them. Because we had 1 4 on the top and 1 on the bottom, we can cross them out and we just get 1 and 1. So now when we write our new problem down here, change my color here, we can write it as 1/3 times 13 over 1. Now we know when we're multiplying, we multiply numerator times numerator. So in this case we have 13 times 1, which will give us just 13 again. Sorry. And we have 3 times 1, which would give us 3. So again, we've got 13 over 3, which if we look at that, is improper again. So we need to go and do our steps to change that improper fraction back into a mixed number. So if we look at that 13 divided by 3, well, 3 goes into 13 4 times, which gives us 12. We have 1 left over. So if we rewrite it as a mixed number, we're going to end up with, sorry, oops, let me erase that there. We're going to get 4 wholes from that there. There's our 4 wholes. Then we had a 1 left over, which we are going to write as our new numerator. And then what we divide it by is going to be our new denominator, or not new denominator, but the denominator we still have. So to complete this problem, all of those steps worked us towards getting to this answer of 3 1/4. Okay? Then down here at the bottom, describe the steps to multiplying. I just want you to write in a couple sentences explaining this whole process up here of changing our our mixed numbers into improper fractions, multiplying out our denominators. If you can take out any common factors, but we can almost skip step 2 and just do step 1, and then we can multiply across, do 4 times 13, 3 times 4, and then when we do all of our reducing at the end, we'll still end up in the same place of 4 1/3. Alright, good luck with tonight's homework. Hope you got it for tomorrow so we can jump right into multiplying mixed numbers. See you then. Good night.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.